Next week at the Citizens Club of Springfield, Hoagland Center for the Arts, they typically open up at 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock sharp, they start a conversation on a different topic, each meeting with the Springfield Citizens Club. And coming up next week, you've got a presentation that Mike Murphy, the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce president and CEO, he's going to be talking about all things Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, and he joins us in studio to preview that a bit. Mike, thanks for taking time. How you been?
I've been doing great, Greg. I appreciate it. I'm very honored that the Citizens Club picked me to be their speaker. I don't know if everybody else was busy or what, but I was happy to take the call. And I attend their meetings on a regular basis, and I know I have some big shoes to fill because they've had some great presentations over the years.
Well, and you come from a background of being a business owner, and then you were a legislator, and now you're with an organization that advocates for businesses and the intersection of government. So kind of talk about that progression, at least for your career.
Well, I jokingly say I have trouble holding a job, but, in all seriousness, my background has led me to this position, which I think it's been great for me. Being a small businessman, and I was not only a small business owner, I served on the board for 6 years. I was on the chamber board from 2013 to 2019. And then being in state government helped me not only understand the workings of government, but provided a lot of contacts for me. And you're right. Our mission statement is to enhance our members' success and advocate on their behalf. And so, advocacy is a very important part of our job. And so, I do work with all different levels of government.
Practically every aspect of business seems to be impacted in some way by government policy, be it taxation, be it the size of a door, be it whether you've got the right kind of railing leading up to your front door.
Sure, we have to be licensed by government. You can't even start a business without some government involvement. And I say we're part of businesses are quasi-government because you think about this: we're tax collectors. We're collecting their sales tax for them. And so, government is a huge part of business, and part of my job is to make sure that when they're looking at new legislation, that it's not become so cumbersome it's impossible to do business in a profitable way.
Talking with Mike Murphy. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, the featured speaker with the Springfield Citizens Club set for next week at the Hoagland Center for the Arts. They open up for coffee at 7:30. Then at 8 o'clock sharp, that's when Mike's going to lay out all he knows about the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce and how they are out there advocating for business. And we were talking a little bit off air about some of the misconceptions people may have when they hear about the chamber. Yeah. Some people may think that you guys are, working for the government.
Yeah, a week doesn't go by when somebody comes up and says, how you like working for the city? And I go, well, I work with the city. I don't work for the city. And that's an important distinction. We actually lobby the city quite a bit. Just the other night at our elected officials reception, the mayor and I had a great conversation on a couple issues. And, we work with all the members of city council. And, same with county government and, even the regional planning group. We have a monthly meeting called the Development Policy Council, where we're trying to improve the zoning and permitting process here in Springfield and Sangamon County.
So obviously a lot that you guys have to keep tabs on. It's one thing that you guys advocate for these businesses, but also there's times when come across hard times, and the pandemic is one of those. You've got as well the derecho that came through. So talk about how it's not just with government policies, but whenever there's like emergencies or a business is destroyed by high winds or whatever the case may be, you guys are there to help find those resources.
Sure. I was very proud of the chamber during COVID. They did a couple things. One, they suspended some membership dues for some industries, the restaurants and such, who they knew were going through tough times, so they gave them a year off, and then they started a a grant program. It wasn't the huge dollars that you saw from the state, but the difference was they were able to get it to them quick. And so we had members who said that they couldn't have kept the lights on without us. And, I'm very, very proud of that. And recently during the storm, you talk about working with the city. The mayor called me up and said, hey, can you help us get the word out to businesses? And so we made that a top priority to talk to them about what they needed to do to make sure that they had good record keeping of their losses, because federal government works very slowly. And so we didn't want them to come back 6, 8, 9 months and say, what were your losses? And we had no idea. So we got the word out there. I think we did a good job. If I recall, we were out here a couple times talking about that very thing. And so, we do things like that. And, along those lines, we're going to have a November 1st, I believe, we're going to have a disaster seminar on how to prepare for a disaster and make sure you have some things in place. And we're going to have people come in there and talk about protecting your IT. We're going to have people come in there and talking about just a good inventory for insurance. So we have multiple speakers coming in on that just to try to help inform our members on how to be one step ahead of it.
So that's coming up in a couple of weeks. Definitely reach out to the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce to get more details about that. But Mike will be able to answer your questions coming up at the Citizens Club of Springfield event at the Hoagland Center for the Arts next Friday, where at 8 o'clock it starts, and he's going to lay out a whole bunch of stuff. You're hearing a little bit about it now, but you'll get a lot more and be able to ask questions directly of Mike at that event at the Hoagland Center for the Arts. But real quickly here, Mike, just briefly in the few minutes we have left, the city of Springfield, the Springfield area, the business community, a lot of focus on government, of course, because it's the state capital. The medical sector as well is thriving and seemingly growing constantly. What else can Springfield do to attract other industries like manufacturing, for instance?
Right. The Springfield Salmon Growth Alliance is always doing that. As a matter of fact, they had 2 of their representatives go with Lieutenant Governor Stratton to Japan. Just got back 2 nights ago. I talked to them yesterday a little bit, and they made some great contacts there. And so, the Springfield Salmon Growth Alliance working on that. I work closely with them. We talk on a regular basis, almost daily, and things like the Shield Sports Complex. So, I'm going to be out there next week with a shovel, and so excited about that. That will be very transformational for that area. That area hasn't really changed much since the Shields came out there, and we had the one strip center and a couple restaurants. And once that sports park starts to be built, you're going to see a lot of growth there. I thought the city did a great job on expanding their business district, because they're going to have some development across the street, so they're going to be able to take advantage of that to help pay for some of the cost and making sure we can handle these businesses. So that's exciting. The other thing that's going to be really great is the rail relocation. Once we in 2025, when we move that rail out of our medical district, I think you're going to see a lot of growth in that medical district. There's some industries who won't come to Springfield because of the trains running right through our med district. So I think you will see some change in that. So I'm excited about what's going to happen the next few years. It is really going to be great. 2025 is a huge year. A lot of things are going to be happening. The capital project's going to be about done then. The rail relocation, Shields is going to open. We have a lot of exciting things coming down the line.
And you're going to hear about a lot of that and more Friday at the Hoagland Center for the Arts as the Springfield Citizens Club hosts Mike Murphy, the president and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, to talk about the chamber, but also to answer your questions. Mike, greatly appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd like to mention is we're going to have Bernie Schoenberg there as a moderator. So Bernie will keep me on.
Keep you on the straight and narrow.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So looking forward to it.
Appreciate it. And, of course, again, that's at the Hoagland Center for the Arts on Friday. Next Friday, 7:30 opens up for coffee, and then 8 o'clock sharp is when the program sets off with Mike Murphy talking about the chamber and taking your questions. Mike, have a great day, all right?
Hey, Greg, thanks so much for having me in.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.